I've been asked to speak on fulfilling purpose amidst teenage turbulence and peer pressure, right? I'm that kind of speaker that I don't like to speak on a topic, I like to speak to the topic. So today I'm going to be speaking about three things. The first is the signal. Can we say that together? Second is the scar. Can we say that together? And third is the standard. Can we say that together? I will take you down a journey to my teenage days. I had this beautiful crush. I know most of you, if you are a teenager and you don't have a crush, you just wasted your teenage. I had this beautiful crush. You guys enjoy it today. If you are crushing on someone, you get their phone number, you chat with them on WhatsApp, on Snapchat. In our days, I'm not Gen Z, I'm millennial. We chat via letters. Those things that your parents used to tell you is true. We did it. It was via letter. And look at how that thing works. If you like a girl, you cannot go directly to her. You go to the back to her brother or her friend, so that you'll be sending letter through someone. Are we together? So I wrote my love letter. I sent it across to her. It got to her. She didn't say yes. She didn't say no. She was just keeping me somewhere in the middle. Until at some point, she asked me to come and see her in her school. We usually close by 2. They close by 4. So I had to close school earlier, go back home, change up to my Christmas clothes, and then try to rush down to her school. So when I went home, I changed up. I think I was wearing one military camouflage, and then one of my nice body hug whites like that. I was looking really fly. And then I had to run down to her school. It was raining. And then I said, oh, today, not today. I must enter this tree. I must see my babe. Not my babe, my crush though. So I entered the rain. I ran down to her school under the rain. When I got to the school, she couldn't come out to see me. I think maybe she was shy or something. So these fear women you've been hearing is true. I actually experienced it. Every day as you wake up from sleep, take 1 second to fear women. I had my own share. Today she's doing very well. She's married. She has kids. She's in my ministry though, but just ministry relationship we had. So it didn't really work out. So the first thing I'm going to talk about today is the signal. And we are still going back to my teenage story. While I was a teenager, I had 2 nicknames. The first was Akanego. How many of you are from Igbo? You know the meaning of that name. They gave me that name because I was entrepreneurial. So I did businesses, I was doing assignments for people. I did this wristband. You know this wristband that you use this aboki thread? You use it to write people's names. Right? I did it while I was in school. I was making a lot of money. You know, so my friends looked at me, saw how I was making money, and they called me this guy, Akanego. I'm not from Igbo, but they just gave me that name. So that was my first nickname, and I was really smart too. The second nickname I got was, it's very funny. Looking back, I didn't even know why I chose that name. You know, way back to, I was really small. I was like the smallest in my class from SS1 until one other small guy came. We were dragging heights. So if I keep afro, I'll be taller than him. If I barb it, I'll be shorter. Right now, he's a doctor in Ignatius. He came, and then both of us, we are dragging the smallest in the class. And you know, when you are the smallest in the class, you are prone to being bullied, right? So instead of me to wait for people to bully me, I usually bully them first. So I had this name, and the name was inspired by the club I supported as a teenager. I supported Arsenal, and there was three players in the Arsenal football club that I loved the way their name goes. The first is Fambiaski, second is Podolski, third is Rosiski. So I gave myself Boyriski. What? No, not Bobrisky. If you say Bobrisky, I'll ask you to leave this off. It's Boyriski. I gave myself that name, and then the intention was actually to, you know, make people be scared of me. And then I had one school father. He was the D1 in the Vikings coach group. So I was already on my path to becoming an intel bagger. What that means that I was supposed to be the intel for that coach group, right? I wouldn't dress like a courtie, so I would just be doing undercover work. I was already on that path. And the reason I wanted to do all this was because I needed security, I needed assurance, I needed backing. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say, because I was small. Then I looked at that path and I said, okay, if I take this path now, if I choose to always use the negative route to solve my problems, how long can I sustain this? So I looked at my future. I said, okay, after school, I get into higher institution. It means that I will also join the court too, or probably join something, right? And then I started asking myself, what is the future of these people that I'm looking at? What is their future in society? I looked at them. They were smokers, they were addicts, they were people that can't keep a home. And then I looked at it, I said, no, I don't think this is the kind of life I want for myself. Then I looked at the second option I had. I was already talented. As at that time, I was in SS1. I was representing the entire school. I had beaten the people in SS2, SS3 in quiz and debates. I was that intelligent. In fact, I was doing it in church and school. I am a member of Deeper Life, so in church I was winning the debate. In school I was winning. And then I realized that my dad was a pastor. He had these public speaking gifts. That was where I got these gifts from. So he could tell stories, he could teach. And then my mom, on the other hand, was an inspirational writer. So I saw her books and I knew where I got this talent from. So I said, what if I take this path? Become a writer, become an inspirational speaker, grow up to become probably a pastor, a teacher. I looked into my future and then I saw the future. And I said, no, I think this is the right path that I should take. Way back 2011, 2012, I saw myself speaking in front of young people. And then I took that path. You know, that's one quality of God that a lot of us ignore. And that's the ability to see the end from the beginning. Stay with me, I'm about to go technical a bit. So it's the ability to see the end from the beginning. Humans cannot see beyond time, because as long as we are in this realm and in this dimension, we are being governed by time. Do you know that time does not exist outside this realm? A lot of us think that what we can see is what exists. Isaiah was prophesying about Jesus. He said that he shall not judge after the seeing of his eyes or the hearing of his ears. It means that what exists goes beyond what is seen and what is heard. Are we together? And it means that if all you can see is what you see, you are blind. And if all you hear is what you hear, you are deaf. True sight is drawn from the spirit realm. Now this is important because what you see as humans is limited. Do you know that dogs see better than you? There are animals that can see at night, but you can't see at night. It does not mean that those objects does not exist. Haven't you seen dogs backing into space? Right? You look at the place, you can't see anything, but they can certainly see something. It means that we are limited based on the dimension that we are in. Now let me run us through the 12. We have 12 dimensions. Humans exist in a third dimension. The first dimension is defined by a single dot in space. Are we together? Are you following me? So in the first dimension, objects, things exist just by a single dot in space. That's the 0th dimension. If you somehow stretch that dot to a straight line, right, you are now in the 1st dimension. So in that 1 dimension, objects exist only in a single line. Take for a train, for instance. When a train is moving on that path, the train cannot move left or right, right? The train can only move front or back. Objects existing in that 1st dimension cannot move left or right. In fact, they cannot move and they don't have the ability to move. They can't sense it. As far as they are concerned, the world, the universe only exists on that straight line. Are we together? In the 2nd dimension is called the flat line. The flat line is where objects can only move straight, right, and left. Objects cannot move up or down, right? That's the flat line. So it's just, for instance, like an ant. Whatever you do here, the ant cannot see you. If you take an object on a flat line from the front and take it to this other place, objects or organisms existing in that flat line will think you just performed a miracle. To them, you are a god, because what they can see, they will say like, I was seeing something here and all of a sudden it disappeared and it appeared all of a sudden here. To them, it's a miracle because they cannot see beyond what's on that flat line. Are we together? And if on that flat land We give it height and depth. You are now welcomed into the third dimension, which is where we exist, humans. Are we together? Humans exist in the third dimension, 3D. It means that we can see objects with depth. We can see their height, their breadth. Are we together? Yes. But then, after that dimension, there is another dimension, which is the fourth dimension. And that fourth dimension, time does not exist in that dimension. The existence of man is a single stream. In that fourth dimension, people that exist in that fourth dimension can see your past, present, and future. They see it as a single string. They see your baby face, your baby stature, down to your adult face and stature. They see you as a full string, as a full picture, just as you can see me. You are seeing me. You can see that I'm fat or slim because you're in the third dimension. In the fourth dimension, they see from the end to the beginning. Are we together? Time is not a factor in the fourth dimension. So when God says 1,000,000 years is like a day in the sight of God, it's actually real and proven by science. And that's just the fourth dimension. In the fifth dimension, it's even more complex. The fifth dimension carries all the possible decisions you can make. If your entire life existence is one single string, right? The fifth dimension is every possible decision you could have made. Let's say instead of going to Mpolu Grammar School, you went to Rayfield College, one beautiful Queen's College. It means that there are friends you are supposed to meet in Mpolu Grammar School that you not meet. You probably not get the same job that you could have gotten. You probably, maybe instead of Uniport, you went to Dunamis. Are we together? So in that fifth dimension, it contains every possible choices you could have made. There is no time. Time only exists in our dimension. So for you to be able to actually do well in life, you must learn to beat time. So the Bible says, teach us to number our days, that we may give our hearts to what? To wisdom. You must learn to beat time. And what does it take to beat time? Is the help of the Holy Ghost. And then by reading, studying, and understanding. Are we together? Are you following me? The people that we've seen that actually rule and govern this world, most of them were people who, they look like they were insane. They never looked normal. Do you know that the person that discovered electromagnetism, his friends had him tested for insanity? He told his friend that I can actually invent something that you'll be here, you'll be talking, and I will be at Chuba Road and I will hear you. They bundled him and carried him to a psychiatric home. They said he was mad. Today, Uber is a global brand. Do you know that Uber said at some point that people would enter a vehicle with a stranger and people doubted them? While taxis exist, Uber said one day people will enter in a vehicle with a stranger and board with them and pay them. People doubted, they went into it, and today is it not working? Where there were hotels, Airbnb said in future that people would like to come and stay in your house and just pay you to use your apartment. And today, they've made it. So people who actually rule understand the signal. They understand what their talent is, and they understand what the future could be. They are able to see into time, understand what the future could be. And your ability to see into time, first, it comes by believing the promptings in your heart. Every idea that's ever changed the world sounded ridiculous, sounded insane. How many of you have such insane ideas? If your friend never told you that one thing that you said or believed was impossible, I don't think it's good enough to follow that path. Your idea. When you say, I want to be this, and your friend started laughing at you, and they say that that idea is impossible, I'm not sure that that idea is worth even pursuing in the first place. So dream big, such that you wake up every morning, you think about what you are dreaming, and you laugh at yourself, and you're like, sometimes I decrease too. Yes. So let's go to the second. The second is the scar. This is where your talent. Remember when I shared my story, I followed my talent. You have to follow the things that gives you scar or gives people scar. Now, what that means is this: man exists to solve problems. The very reason that God created man was to have dominion over the things he has created. So when God created everything, on the sixth day, he discovered that when I live, I will not be in charge of, these physical things that I've created, since I'm spirit. So he now said, let us make man in our own image and let them have what? Let them have what? Dominion is your ability to solve problems. Whatever solve problems for you has dominion over you. So if you are bored, you decide to use your phone to scroll, that app has dominion over you because it has taken your time, it has taken your attention. Are we together? So we were created to have dominion. Dominion over sicknesses, dominion over diseases, dominion over the devil, dominion over time, dominion over issues. That thing that stirs up in your heart each time NEPA takes the light, that is dominion calling for destiny. That thing that makes you move on maybe just a small rain, and then everywhere on the street is flooding, and it pains you. You are like, what is our government doing? That is dominion calling for destiny. The Bible says deep calls unto deep. Each time you see any problem and it stirs in your heart, that is that dominion that God has put into you, calling for destiny, calling out for you to live destiny. Are we together? And each time that dominion factor gets missing or gets lost, you are living outside of purpose and you are living outside of God's plan. Do you know why the flood happened in the time of Noah and destroyed the entire universe? Do you know why? I know your pastor didn't really explain it this way, but I will explain it to you. What happened is called quarantine. Can we say that together? Now, this was what happened. As at that time, if you're a Bible student, you could recall that God had said that the thinking or the imagination of man was evil continually. You remember that place, right? So man has fallen short of God's glory, evil continually. And then there was no way to actually change, because look at what happened. When man sinned, God made a curse to the snake, to the serpent, which was the devil. He said, you shall bruise his leg and he shall bruise your what? Your head. That the seed of the woman shall bruise the what? The head of the serpent. So the devil knew that God has a plan to completely destroy him. So what did the devil do? He made fallen angels to begin to have intercourse with human females. And his plan was to contaminate that gene that Christ was supposed to come from. If human gene becomes contaminated, there's no way Jesus would be able to come to redeem man. So it will mean that man will be internally irredeemable. So we will just be like animals. We will just, because Christ did not die for goats. Did Christ die for goats? No, Christ died for humanity. So God was trying to preserve that gene. What happens was that the fallen angels were having intercourse with humans and they were producing Nephilims. You've heard about it before, right? So their gene was contaminated, and it was only about just the house of Noah. So that was why God said, quickly create an ark, get into that ark. We have to preserve this last seed to be able to replenish the earth again. Are we together? So that was what happened. So when you look back at that incident, don't see a God that was judging the world. No, it was a God that was loving and preserving his seed so that humans will be redeemed. The reason why Adam and Eve were chased out of the garden, it was not God's punishment. It was actually God preserving them from touching the fruit of life. Because once they had fallen and touched the fruit of life, it means that they will be eternally irredeemable. They will be like sinners forever. Are we together? Are we together? So let's come back. Once dominion is lost, essence gets lost in the process. So as much as possible, never let that desire in you to have dominion die. A lot of us, when we were younger, some of us were outspoken, and all of a sudden you became shy. And today you will hear people giving beautiful excuses like, I'm an introvert, I'm phlegmatic. How many of you are introverts here? If you are introvert, you're an introvert. Let me tell you, there is no global leader that is an introvert. You are an introvert. If you want to be global, you want to be a business leader, you will kill that spirit of being an introvert. You will kill it. You are not born an introvert. Do you know how that nature came in? Do you know, some of us when we were kids, we went to holidays and we came back to class, and then they were asking us, what was your favorite meal? You raise up your hand. Someone said, my favorite meal is akpo fufu. Everybody laughed at him. And then someone said, my favorite meal was rice and salad. And everybody looked at him as a rich kid. Since that day, your favorite meal changed from fufu because you didn't want them to laugh at you to rice and salad. But then if you eat rice 1 week, you will start macheting because you know that it's actually fufu that your body needs. That was how you too, they asked you what's your favorite color, you said black, and then your friend said pink, sky blue, purple, and you're looking at them. He was not looking like, it's like you're a devil though. Why will you like black? That was how your favorite color changed. That was also how you became an introvert. You raised your hand to answer a question. Auntie looked at you eyeball to eyeball and pointed someone else. Since that day you swore, if I answer question for class again, I'll die. You're not an introvert. So you can make the decision to become whoever you want to be. Are we together? You should be who your destiny wants you to be, not who society defines you to be. Are we together? You should become, Paul the Apostle say, I become all things to all men, so that I by every means would gain some. Me, if I tell you my story, it's let me just go a bit. Yeah, I was born in Deeper Life, and you know what it means to be born in Deeper Life. I attended a boys' school, so girls and me had no business at all. I was a campus fellowship president when I was in school. My dad called me and said, I hope you are not talking to girls. I hope you don't have girls' number on your phone. If you have girls' number on your phone, delete them. My vice president was a girl, and I'm the president. So am I supposed to delete her phone number? So I was born in that girls and me. I can't talk to girls. It was just until one day I told myself, what's the meaning of this nonsense? Then I started walking on the street. I said, I must toast a girl today, whether she liked me or not. It doesn't concern me. So my plan, what I was planning to do was to actually defeat my fears and my known limitations. Are we together? I actually did it and defeated it. I will walk in the night, I see a fine girl, I say hello, fine. I started reading pickup lines, tried them. I was improving. No, I did not call them back. There was no need to call them back. I was just proving to myself that I can actually do what I want to do. I'm a social leader. I have a ministry as well. So I know that being a leader will require you to read and study. At some point, it was difficult to read. I would tell myself that I'm not a soft copy person. I'm a hard copy person. They will give me the hard copy book. I will not. In fact, I had one book that I couldn't finish in a year. The book is a small book. Until I told myself, no, this thing can't work. Growth comes when you see your limits and shatter your limits. If you know your limit and you keep staring at it every day, you will not grow. And in life, when you're not growing, you are dying. There is no middle ground. Are we together? This is July. I've read 12 books already. And I've read the Bible up to half. I'm in 2 Kings. I've read the New Testament and started from the Old Testament. I'm in 2 Kings. I'm reading 3 chapters every day. There is no day in this year and last year that I've not read the book and I've not read the Bible. You cannot be a leader when you keep giving excuses for everything. The reason I went to this school was because I chose this school. Tinubu pushed me to this other school. Excuse. You can never be a leader. You can never be successful that way. Are we together? So you must be able to use your talent to solve problems and to look at life and decide that I'm going to have dominion. I'm going to have dominion over everything that looks like a scar to you. I'm going to have dominion. You know what destiny is? Destiny is not far-fetched though. It's in that thing that your heart lost for. Lost is not wrong. It's when it is channeled the wrong way. That thing that stirred up Moses to defend an Israelite when an Egyptian was beating him, that is destiny calling for you. That thing that makes you, when you see 2 vehicles get accident and you're like, can this thing be done in such a way that most cars will not collide? Do you know, I've thought of it before. Do you know magnets cannot touch, right? 2 same sides cannot touch, right? What if you build it into cars? It means that they will not be able to collide. I thought about it sometime. Are we together? So each time you look at something and it stays lost in you, that desire, that frustration, that lust to go into it, that is destiny calling for you. Engage it. Turn to your neighbor and say, engage destiny. Finally is the standard. Can we see it together? The standard is where you bring your talents and the problems your talent can solve, and you create a brand for yourself. What is a brand? A brand is not a business. A brand is the meaning behind a thing. Just like they say noun is the name of a person, animal, place, or thing. A brand is the meaning behind a person, animal, place, or thing. Look at the lion, for instance. The brand of the lion is what? The king of the jungle. Right? You know the strategy of the lion. When the lion sees prey, what he does is that he will stay here and roar. And what happens is that the prey scatters. The mother goes this way, the father goes this way, the children go this way, and we chase the children and catch them. That's why the Bible says the devil walks about like the roaring lion. It's not that he's going to bite you. The devil cannot bite the believer. But it's that fear that makes you leave God that the devil uses as strategy. Are we together? So when you remove the meaning behind a lion, you remove that lion. What makes lions scary? Is it not that it, as the lion does not have the strongest bite. You know that the hyena bites stronger than the lion. There are animals that can actually kill the lion. It's just that swagger that he has. It's branding. Lion is the king of the jungle. It's just branding. The guy is not as strong as that. Just remove that his teeth now. He will smile. He will be looking like he can now. Remove that teeth. Bab his dada. Cut his claws. That's meaning that makes it scary. When you take it away, it loses its meaning. It loses its brand. Are we together? What's the meaning behind the snail? Is that it's the slowest animal. Just come out from the house one day and you're walking like this, and then you walk to the gate and you saw one snail as you leave the house. You just look at it, you kick it, then you go to the gate and you see the snail there already. Is it not a horror movie? Then you start walking, the snail start moving that fast, and you and you move fast. The snail is following you that fast. Would it be a horror movie? It means that snail has lost brand. When a thing loses meaning, it loses brand. Are we together? Look at Ronaldo, for instance. Ronaldo is known for one thing: his hard work. Messi is known for one thing: his talent. Messi doesn't need hard work. That's why. Let me not talk. Right now, Man U has a brand. Man U cannot win anything, right? It used to be Arsenal, but we've won the trophy. So where were you guys? Where have you guys been? 14 years, no trophy. God have mercy on you. Let me not say something and someone come and hold me on the way. Sir, you talked about Man U. So brand is the meaning behind a thing. Are we together? The meaning behind your business. So a couple of people came out to introduce themselves. You know, they don't have a brand. Let me tell you the truth. You don't have a brand. You just talked about what you do, your business. Your brand is not in what you do, it's in how you do it. Can we say that together? Your brand is not in what you do, it's in how you do it. As you come out to introduce yourself, you should not start with, I sell clothes. Start with the problems your clothes is meant to solve. You're a musician, for instance. I sing to give people hope and life, and I do that through music. I do that through playing the sax. I do that through playing the violin. Don't just come and say you play the violin. Who violin help? Right? You say clothes. There are a lot of people that say clothes. What will stand you apart is the meaning behind the clothes you sell. I had a friend I was consulting for. I told him that the way to build this brand is to say that instead of saying we are selling clothes, say we are selling elegance. We are selling that thing that makes you stand apart. When you wear my clothes, you don't wear shirt or fabric, you wear elegance. Are we together? That's the meaning behind your brand, meaning behind what you do. So finally, how do you build a brand? You build a brand is defined by three things. Number one, the things you can't do, right? Your non-negotiables. Number two, how you do what you do. Number three, your reputation for delivering what you do over time. Number one, a brand is defined by the things it can't do. The strength of a brand is not in what it does, it's what it can't do. Non-negotiable. What it can't do. Some of you are that kind of person that you post anything on social media. If you're someone that when you post something, has anybody ever told you to take down a post before? Has anyone ever told you to take down a post before? It shows two things. If no one has told you, it shows that maybe you don't have an authority figure that is viewing your status. You block them, all of them. Some of you do that. You block your father, block your mother, block your pastor. I wish there is an app that can undo blocking so that we'll be able to trace some of you. So your brand is defined by that thing that you can't do. There's one guy that was trending online. He's an MC. He says that he never MCs for a beer company. He never does that. That's your brand. No matter how good you are a fashion designer, for instance, you say that no matter who you are, I don't sew for this category of people. I don't sew for politicians. It's not defined by what you do, it's what you can't do. Do you know what God's brand is? The Bible says God is not a man that he should what? Lie. It's in what he cannot do. God can do everything, we know. But that he cannot lie, that's his brand. Are we together? Do you get what I'm trying to say? So let me tell you something. There's this brand called Louis Vuitton. Most of you know the brand, right? This is what happened. Louis Vuitton launched a campaign and they had products worth over $38 million. After the campaign, they had the option of either reducing the price because they couldn't sell it. So they had the option of either reducing the price or destroying their goods worth $38 million. You know what they did? They destroyed the goods. You know why? Because as a luxury brand, once you reduce your price, you lose your status as a premium luxury brand. So they were able to, let go of $38 million to retain their brand. So a brand is not defined by what they do. It's defined by what they can't what. If people don't have something to expect when they do business with you, you don't have a brand.